So, it's a boring Sunday afternoon, so why not make another tutorial? So, this is going to be what I call a mix walkthrough. It's one of my recent projects, and I invite you to take a journey through all the techniques I used in this mix. We will have nothing surprising, so there will be no secret tricks or secret enlightenments. It's just basic techniques I apply, and I think it might be interesting why I applied these techniques and in which context I applied them. Right, I made a plan, and our first topic is going to be the voice. Of course, the voice, the most important part in the song. And I'd like to show you my vocal chain, and I'm going to explain what's going on here. Maybe before we start, a short glimpse about what the song is about. It's a funk song, and I will just quickly start the different parts so that you can hear what we are going to show today. So that's the intro.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
Move your ass.
B part, shouts.
Why do you spread out gossip and you two complain all the time?
Lots of brass going on.
We won't have some party time.
And we have a keyboard solo here. And of course the last part with an outro.
Stomp your feet. Lose control.
And last but not least, an outro.
Be so fine, find some rhyme. We won't have some party time.
Okay, I want to start with a voice, and it is this part here. I'm going to solo it.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
Okay, now let's have a look at it step by step. I'm going to switch off the synths so we can hear it try, and I'm going to switch off all the inserts. Okay, so this is the pure recording.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
So the first step was what I call neutralize the voice. So with the first insert plugin, the Vox Former from Xengo, I try to compensate for all the inadequacies of the room, and I'm pulling out all the nasty frequencies which are disturbing me, and the aim is to get a good base for further processing steps and to get a good and neutral sound of the voice. And as you can see here, I'm also doing a bit of compression and a bit of de-essing. So this will be my base for the next steps.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
And without.
Why do you let them squeeze you and put on an act just to get acknowledgement you want?
Okay, the next step after neutralizing is compression, and I'm using the virtual bus compressors from Slate Digital, and I'm using the FG red and the FG gray, so these both for different purposes. So the first compressor aims for the peaks, so it's catching the peaks, and the second compressor is just for sound enhancement, and it has a very low compression rate. So let us see what's going on. I'm switching them off here and here.
Why do you have to work hard
Now I'm catching
and
the
edge out
peaks.
people to earn more money than you need? Why do you let them squeeze you?
So the second one is for sound shaping, and for demonstration purposes I'm switching it on and off.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
Now without.
Why do you let them squeeze you
With.
and put on an act just to get acknowledgement you want?
So now we are coming in the range where during the normal mix process I would run the voice together with the rest of the mix, so I can mix in context. And this is what's going on the next step. The next step is putting the voice into the context of the song by giving it the right edge, or making it cutting through a mix, or shaving off too much highs or too much lows, whatever. And for this purpose I'm using the UAD Pultec. So now let's listen into, within the context of the song.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need? Why do you let them squeeze you and put on an act just to get acknowledgement you want? We won't have some party time.
So what am I doing here? The first move, I boosted around between 6 and 7K in order to make it cut better through the mix. I also attenuated some of the lows, and that might surprise you, I didn't boost the higher frequencies, but I attenuated them in the 10K area, because the singer has a quite sharp voice, and my impression was that it yields better with the mix if I put down some of the highs. Let's listen to it in solo.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn?
Now without, listen to the high frequencies.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
So in my opinion it was a bit too sharp and too brittle for the song, so I shaved them off, the highs.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
Okay, now you might think we are ready, but through all these processing steps they came up some frequencies which disturbed me, and I did some finalizing, and I put out some more disturbing frequencies with this corrective EQ, and also gave the voice back some of the lows, which I in the first step put out here. Don't ask me why I did it, but it sounded good. Right, so let's listen to this.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
Now with the corrective EQing.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
So you might ask yourself, why did you do this? Because, but it was important to listen together with the arrangement, and then all these moves, especially the last move, makes sense.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need?
Now without.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need? Why do you let them squeeze you?
Okay, now finally the synths. I won't go through all the single steps, but I can shortly explain what's going on here. The first one is what I call the vocal doubler. It's just a thickening of the voice. I'm using the PSP tape delay for this purpose with a very short setting, so it's a kind of a slap delay. Is it ping pong mode? I think so. Yeah, with ping pong cranked up, so it will also give it some widening. And the second one is a mono delay from Echo Boy with the with a lot of saturation and filtering, so it's a kind of analogish. And then a plate and a room effect from the Revelation. Let's listen to it in solo. First without.
Why do you have to work hard?
Now with.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need? Why do you let them squeeze you and put on an act just to get acknowledgement you want? We won't have some party time.
Okay, in order to make it short for the other two voices, I used just the same technique, only with other settings and other plugins. So here again, the first one is the neutralizing, and the second one is for sound shaping and giving it some character. And also, in this case, I did just the same. So if we go through these steps, there will be nothing new for you. Right, what have I got next on the list? Alright, the background vocals. What did I do here? The first interesting thing is I put on all these single vocals a compressor, and these vocals are routed to this background vocal group. So the question is, why didn't I just route them to the group and compress them here? The reason is I did some low compression, you might call it pre-compression, in the single tracks, and these caused fluctuations in the stereo image because the reaction of the compressor is always different for the voices. And as you can see here, these voices are spread out in stereo, so depending how much the compressor compresses, the voices will fluctuate in volume, and because it is in stereo, the stereo image of the voices is more stable than without compression, but it's still not completely stable and completely static, and that's the effect I wanted to achieve. In the group, I did now a group compression with a classic Electronics LA2A, and then some final sound shaping with a Trident A-range equalizer, a fantastic equalizer, by the way. So now let's listen to the group. I'm just finding a part where the group is doing something. Oh, maybe here.
Some party time, party time, party time.
Let's listen to the group in solo.
Party time, party time, party time. It's no crime, party time, it's no crime.
As you can see here, I narrowed the stereo width a bit because we had some correlation problems. So with full stereo width, the correlation went into the negative part, and this caused mono cancellation. So let's have a look here.
Party time, party time, party time.
So it's okay. Now let's switch off the panning. So now we have got full stereo width.
Party time, party time, party time.
And as you can see here, it's going to be critical. And if we switch to mono now, parts of the voices are going to disappear.
Party time, party time, party time. Is no crime, party time, is no crime.
And therefore I narrowed the stereo width in order to avoid this mono compatibility problem.
Party time, party time, party time. Is no crime.
Let's compare it. This is with full stereo width in mono.
Party time, party time.
Now with reduced stereo width in mono.
Party time, party time.
Without.
Party time, party time.
With narrow.
Party time, party time.
Alright, so this is something very important. From time to time you have to check your, especially if you are doing wide mixes and with very similar voices, you have to check your mono compatibility with the correlation meter, and the mono button as shown here is also a very, very useful tool in order to avoid bad surprises. So I think that's all. Maybe we can have a look at the vocal shouts. We have got them here.
Move your ass, stomp your feet, lose control.
In solo. And with the shouts, I had the same effect through the single compression of the different voices, which is not too much. I also achieved that the stereo image of the shouts is fluctuating a bit and it's not sounding so static, and I liked this effect.
Move your ass, stomp your feet, lose control. Don't give up, trust yourself, keep your way.
Right. So I think all is said and done about the voices. Maybe the plugins in the group for the sharps I used. First I used a vintage compressor. It's modeled after a Fairchild 670, and finally some sound shading with the Trident EQ. Maybe the Trident EQ, we should have a listen to it for the background voices, because I think it sounds quite good and we should have a listen to it. And here we are. So this is the background voices in solo again.
Party time, party time.
Without.
Party time, party time, party time.
With.
Is no crime, party time, is no crime. Be so fine, do no crime, be so fine.
Great EQ. So, what have we next? Yes, it's I would like to mention a technique I also learned from others, we all learn from others, which is very useful. It's stem mixing, and if we look at the routing, we can see that I summarized lots of the parts in stems, like here a stem for the vocals, stem for the keyboards, for the brass, and so on. I'm going to visualize them. So here they are. And what are the stems for? First, after the mix, if you want to make some fine adjustments for the instruments, for the vocals, for the bass, for the drums, whatever, it's very useful to have them summarized in groups so you don't have to go through the whole mix and can use this submix area in order to make your adjustments. But there is also another very important reason why I'm using the stems. In this song I wanted to create a vintage sound, and I used the stems for the emulation of an analog mixing setup with a tape machine. Sorry, here's the tape machine. And an analog mixing console emulation. So the first step is the console emulation. It's set to the Neve here. And the second step is the virtual tape machine. And here I'm doing my analog summing, and the stems are finally going to my master bus. And why not listen to the stems? And I could switch off and on the inserts, and maybe you can hear the difference.
We won't have some party time, party time, party time. 'Cause celebrating is no crime, party time is no crime. Move your heart and be so fine, do no crime, be so fine. To make your life that finds a rhyme, be so fine, finds a rhyme.
Maybe I should link them so that the effect is getting more drastic. Okay.
We won't have some party time, party time, party time. 'Cause celebrating is no crime, party time is no crime. Move your heart and be so fine, do no crime, be so fine. To make your life that finds a rhyme, be so fine, finds a rhyme.
So now the question is, what's going on here sonically? It's hard to describe. It's just fatter, bigger, wider, more impressive. I cannot describe the effect in technical terms, but as you might have heard through YouTube, it's actually going to happen. And through my mix, I'm making here adjustments. I'm playing with the drive knob. I also try the alternative mixing consoles, and I'm playing around with the tape settings until I like the sound. And for the last 30% of the mix steps, I'm already mixing through these emulations in order to adapt to the sound I want to achieve. Right. Oh, come on. Stop this. Bugger. Right. Okay, this is for stems. Very, very useful. So we don't need them anymore. By the way, visibility, great Cubase feature. Can't live without. So what have we got next on our minutes? Yeah, maybe I can shortly show you how I processed the pianos. The Rhodes piano and the solo piano. Let's find a part where it's quite apparent. Maybe here.
Move your ass.
No, yeah. Let's take this one.
Why do you spread out gossip and you two complain all the time to raise your self-esteem?
Okay. It's mixed quite low, so the function of the Rhodes piano is for filling the arrangement. It's a so-called pad. Let's listen to it. So the first one is a very good freeware chorus, by the way, from TAL. It's emulation of the classic Roland Uno synthesizer, and it's a great recommendation from me. And the second one is the PSP Classic EQ. By the way, I used this EQ for many tracks, as you can see here, especially for the drums. Yeah, because I wanted to achieve this vintage Neve sound, and with this EQ you can achieve this sound for two reasons. It has got a saturation, and it's also simulating the transformers. And the third great feature is a feature this EQ doesn't have. It has no spectrum analyzer and no spectrum display, so you have to mix by ear, and it's a real pleasure to mix with this EQ because it's so sounding so musical. And yeah, in my feeling, you can just turn the knobs and nothing can go wrong. You just twiddle and try and find good sounding frequencies, and yeah, as I mentioned, a real joy mixing with this EQ. So let's switch it off and let's listen to the piano. Now with the chorus. With the EQ. So I put off the lows and gave it some shimmer and shine and a bit of punch here around, I think it's 2K. No, sorry, it's, wait a moment. No, it's actually 200 Hertz. And finally some compression. Now in the context.
Move your heart and be so fine.
Right. Maybe you can have a look at the... oh, I did nothing with the solo... Ah, yeah. Here's the solo piano. Let's go into the solo part. This is the sound. As mentioned before, the fade child, it's generally, it's a, I don't know why, it's a quite well sounding compressor for piano sounds. And then some basic equalization, low cut, and some shimmer and the high mids for the piano. And I finally crushed it a bit. I used some distortion from Camel Crusher, which is freeware by the way too, and also a great tool in order to give it some edge, and without it sounded a bit too pleasurable, don't know how to describe it, too soft, too clean. And so this is without Camel Crusher. Now with. Listen to the notes with the higher attacks. Now without. Right. So that's the processing for the pianos. Let's go to the synth. The synth part, just a bit of compression. And I used a vintage emulation of a passive EQ in order to give it some shine in the high mids. And I think, yeah, I put down the lows and that's it. So it's just a classic curve in order to give the synth more, to make it more impressive, whatever. Right, for the brass. Might interest you how I did the brass. Let's find a part where a lot of brass is happening. Maybe last part.
Move your ass, stomp your feet, lose control.
So it's just a bit of EQing, but this bit of EQing is very important. I should mention it's these are sampled brass, the session horns from Contact. Also a recommendation from me. They are only 99 euros and they sound great, very flexible. But they sound a bit flat and they have a lack of the so-called mojo, and this mojo can achieved using this great emulation of an SSL console made by IK Multimedia. I don't know how they do it, but whenever I have the feeling that the brass are too weak or don't sound impressive enough, then I just slam on this EQ, give them some high mid-range frequency boost, and that's it. Let's listen to the difference. So this is without. With. And with. Without. Absolutely great. With and without. And this is what you can hear, this, don't know how to describe it, this edge the brass now have is coming from here, and then I also did a bit of compression here, because it's the whole channel strip including the compressor and also the gate expander. Right, so whenever you process brass, so this equalizer is a warm recommendation from me, warm as a pun intended. So that's for the brass. There's another very important aspect for the brass. It's layering. I layered the brass with a synth. Let us see where this is happening. Yeah, let's take this part. So it's this part which is layered together with the brass. Let's have a listen to it. So this is the layered sound. Right, this is the brass, first without the layered synth. Now with the synth layering. Oh, that was a bad example. I have some other parts where the synth and the brass are playing together. Wait a moment. Where are the brass? Here. Here brass, here synth. Maybe this part here. Where is a good demonstration? Brass. Here. All right. Here we are. So in this part, the synth and the brass are just playing the same. And let's listen to this. So that's the synth. This is only the brass. And this is layered with the synth now. Sorry, brass is missing. Yeah. Right, now let's listen to the whole part with the synth switched off. and then I'm going to switch it on, then you can see the effect of the layering. So you won't hear that the synth is missing, but you won't hear that something is missing. So without the synth.
We won't have some party time, party time, party time. 'Cause celebrating is no crime, party time is no crime.
Now with the synth.
We won't have some party time, party time, party time. 'Cause celebrating is no crime, party time is no crime.
Maybe I switch off the voices, then you can hear the effect better. So for this, the stems are very useful. So now this is totally without the voices. I switch off the synth. Now with the synth. All right, so just another example of layering. Right, now I want to show you the processing for the bass guitar. It's an artificial bass created by a motive synth, and in my opinion it sounded sampled too synth-like, so I processed it through Amplitube using an MPEG tube amplifier. And let's listen to it first in solo without the inserts. So the first thing I want to show you is not the effect of the inserts, but something I did with MIDI. And it's all the pops and noises you can hear. So it's thread slides and pops made with the thumb. And this is a very important element in order to make the bass groovy. Maybe I show you the bass together with the drums. Let's forget the inserts now. So let's solo only the drums together with the bass, which are summarized in this stem. And there you can hear how well these bass dead notes harmonize together with the drums. Without drums. So it seems like a subtle detail, but these pops and slides are very important for an authentic sound. Talking about drum and bass, I did something special with it. The first special thing that is I routed the bass together with the drums into one stem in order to get sum them up here. But I did also something different. Let's look at the routing. Let's do it later, sorry. A bit confused now. Right. Initially I wanted to talk about the bass processing, so this is I'm going to do this now. Right. So first Amplitube. These are the settings. This is the cabinet, the microphone, and no racks. The second, this is a tube compressor emulation by EK Multimedia with a quite high compression rate to get the dynamics of the bass static, and it's also making sound. And the third one is saturation. I'm using FabFilter Saturn here in the 2-band mode. In the lower band I give it just a bit of tube drive, and the higher band I give it a lot of tape drive. This is important to make the bass audible when played with cheap speakers which cannot reproduce the low frequencies very well. So let's listen to the different steps without. So this is the clean sound from the Yamaha Motive, and it sounded too synth-like for me, so I smacked amplitude on it. Yeah, that's better. Look how the volume dances here. Now I put on the compression. More steady now. And now finally the saturation. I'm exaggerating a bit. This is the effect I wanted to achieve, to make the highs more scream. Right, so much for the bass. So let's go to the drums, I would suggest. So the drums are here. And before the all drums are going through a group before they are routed to the stem, and this group is very important in order to get the mojo I wanted to achieve. I ran all the drums through this great emulation of I think it's a Neve 36309 made by IK Multimedia, and this I don't remember if I changed anything. I just put the default value on, and that was it. So it's one of those plugins, you just put them in and you're done. Right, let's listen to it for the drums in solo, and in between I will switch it on and off. Without. Just listen to the snare. Incredible, isn't it? Now listen to the bass drum. Hard to describe. It sounds like after the compression, the drums are put into a great drum room, and everything is just bigger and wider and more vibrant. Hard to say. Right, great compressor. I also did a lot of things on the drums and all the toms, and as you can see, for all the drums I used this EQ and gave them the punch and kick they needed. And especially for the kick, I put also the CRD DBX 160 emulation before. Maybe we could listen just to the kick. As I know, most listeners are mostly interested in the kick. And let's listen what the processing is doing. So let's switch them off first. So this is the kick without any processing, except this one on the group. Maybe I should switch that off too. Right. So that's the pure kick. Now with the DBX 160. So it's getting more punch and click now. Now for the EQ. I put out around 300 in order to get rid of the mud, and put in about 3.8K in order to enhance the smack and the kick. And I also did some very subtle low cut. And then I boosted at around 110 Hertz with this part here. And of course the transformer simulation and the saturation is always switched on. Now let's switch on the final part on the group, the 36309. Bah. This is really a beast, isn't it? So this was the initial kick. What a difference. Right, so much for the kick. Maybe now the snare. Let's switch the group compressor off. On the equalizer. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So, what did I do with the snare? The first one is a clipper made by IK Multimedia. It's meant for an analogish soft limiting in order to make the dynamics of the snare, which you can see here, a bit more controlled. So if I switch the clipper on, the snare gets more steady. And then the equalizer. I gave it some shimmer at about 5K. And that was it. And now, magic. Without magic. With magic. So again, for the snare, the most processing, great processing in the sound is actually happening here. Right. So we have come quite far now. Let's have a look at the funky guitar.
We won't have some
So what's going on here? Let's listen to it without all the effects. So on the first step I used amp dynamics in order to, with a high, medium compression rate, I tried to bring out all the chakas, the dead notes. So that was the purpose of the first compressor. Oh, where's the setting? Come on. Wrong knob. No, not this one. Here we are. So I adjusted the compressor so that all the playing is happening in this soft knee area, and this is bringing out all the chakas. Without. Then a lot of EQing. So I took out all the lows, and here again gave it 8K in order to make it cut through the mix, and also gave it, it's about, it should be 2.5 kilohertz, about that. Let's listen to it in the context.
Celebrating is no crime.
Without the cue.
Is no crime. Move your heart and be so fine. Do no crime. Be so fine. To make your life that find some rhyme. Be so fine. Find some rhyme. We won't have some party time. Party time.
So there is a lot going on this arrangement. As you can hear, as soon as I switch on the equalizer, the guitar, which previously disappeared in the mix, is appearing now, and this is also supercharged with a supercharger. So without these, the guitar is disappearing.
We won't have some party time. Party time.
Switch on the equalizer.
Celebrating is no crime.
Now you can hear it.
Is no crime.
Now some more compression.
Be so fine. Do no crime. Be so fine. To make your life that finds a rhyme. Be so fine.
Right. So much for the guitar. Right, we are nearly done. Just wanted to shortly show you the synths. Without listening, just shortly explain. So this is a room. In order to put the virtual band in the room, and in order to achieve some gluing, it's done with the Reverb plugin with a very short decay time. The second one is the drum room. I used this great plugin from UAD, the EMT 250 emulation. It's another of my recommendations here. And this is the snare plate I used also for the vocals. This is the large room, another instance of this EMT 250 with longer decay settings and with a low cut filter. Afterwards a low cut filter. And this is the doubler. This slap delay in ping pong mode. And this is another echo, stereo echo, also ping pong mode. And last but not least, we have got this analog delay, which I used mainly, I think, on the main vocals with a tweaked space echo setting. So I think we are roughly through the mix now, and now I'm shortly telling you what I am using on the master chain and what it's happening here. So the first one is the summing plugin for all these single bass instances on the stems. So this is a single instance here from the vocal stem, and all these instances here are routed by the plugin itself into this summing unit, so that we can emulate a summing bus of this console. So that's the purpose of this virtual mix bus. Then again, the virtual bus compressor, in this case just the instance of the FGMU, and this thing is doing a lot. And let's listen to the difference. We're not just starting over the whole song. Without. With.
Why do you have to work hard and edge out people to earn more money than you need? Why do you let them squeeze you and put on an act just to get acknowledgement you want?
This is so great. This is another of those magic plugins. I have the feeling if I switch it off, then the whole mix just deflates and loses all its consistency, and don't know. And as soon as I switch it on again, it's going to sound like a record. If I switch it off, it's going to sound like not yet a record, I should say. I didn't do a lot here. It's just a tad of compression, just to keep the needle a big waggling, and that's it. Maybe one of the later parts.
Trust yourself, keep your way. Let it flow, be in mind, feel the soul.
It also widens the stereo image in not explainable ways. So, great recommendation. Especially in this mix, it worked very, very well. So, the next one. Sorry. So this is my mastering equalizer. So I did some small adjustments. Don't ask me what I did here. It's just I listened to the song, twiddle the knobs until it sounds fine, and as you can see, I also put down a bit the highs. This is interesting. I had to attenuate the high frequencies a bit because this compressor, don't know, well, it kind of adds some highs. So if you put this onto your master bus, the mix is getting a bit brighter, and I didn't like that special detail, and so I put it down a bit here. I also should mention this is one of the plugins. Okay, let's start again. I'm normally one of the guys who used to mix with exactly nothing on the master bus, so it's a kind of philosophy of myself. When I mix, I don't want anything to be on my master bus, but especially when mixing this piece, I learned I should have put this on from the very beginning of the mix, and then I should have mixed into this plugin. And I tell you this because as soon as I put this compressor on the mix bus, I had to make a lot of readjustments through all tracks in order to adapt the sound to the sound of this compressor, because it's doing such a lot. So my recommendation is, if you want to use this compressor, you should put it on the master bus from the very beginning and then mix into this plugin, and then you will avoid all these small adjustments, and I also would have avoided these adjustments maybe. Right, so that's the equalizer. The next was just a limiter. This is just one of the limiters I like, don't ask me why, and the last one is just for the control of the spectrum and the correlation meter. So we are through, we have arrived at the master chain. I hope the whole journey was interesting for you and you got something out of it. I had a lot of fun with the mix because I'm a funk fan. And right, see you later.